In this video, I'm going to show you some interesting ways in which you can spice up simple triad voicings to come up with some really interesting worship guitar parts. Let's go ahead and cue the track, and afterwards I'll show you exactly what I did right there. So there you go, some interesting chord voicings which I'm going to break down for you in a second. Now, if this is the first video you're seeing of this series, check the link in the description. It links to the previous video where I showed you how I embellished the voicings for the verses. But in this section, I'm going to show you the rhythm, the picking pattern, as well as the chord voicings that I used along with the track, which is what you've just listened to. Now, let's go and look at the progression. It's simply 1, 6, 4, 5, which means G, E minor, C, and D. That is if I were to play the simple, plain, vanilla triads. Now, we don't want to do that. We want to spice things up a little bit. For the build section, what I did is I played this, which is a G5 over the G chord. And then I went to this shape, which is E minor 7. Now you remember, if you've watched a previous video, this is the same shape we used as a G add 9. I just move it all the way up here, then it becomes an E minor 7th. Then for the next chord, which is a C, I stayed on that exact shape, which makes this a C add 9. And in this case, you remember this was G add 9, so over here we have C add 9. But I added in a little bit of a, where I played a normal C, and I just hammered onto the 9. And then for the D5, I just went like this. Those three notes. So we have G5, E minor 7, C add 9, and D5. And I play that with kind of a polyrhythmic strumming pattern, which is down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. It sounds like this. And then for that final D5, just down, 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 and you let it ring out. Let me play that for you once more with the track, and afterwards I'll show you how to do the following section. Right, now granted for the G5 and the D5, I just played power chords, which works great for building sections like this. But as soon as we went into this chorus section after that, I wanted to bring in some color again. So then the chords stayed the same. G, E minor, C, and D. But instead of the plain vanilla triads, I did the following. I played this for G. I played this for E minor, 7. I played this for C. I played this for the D. All right, now these voicings sound quite interesting if you look at G, E minor, C, and then D. This chord has a lot of tension within it, so let me go ahead and show you what those chords were. This over here is like a G triad, but I'm taking the root up to the 9th. So then it kind of becomes a G add 9. Then when we went to the E minor, you remember before I just played a G triad over the E. Give me E minor 7. I'm doing exactly the same over here. Just playing a normal G triad, but it gives me E minor 7. Then I stayed on that triad over the C, which gives me a really interesting sound. It's like a major 9, C major 7, add 9, and then I go make from the 7th to the root again. So, and all of that over the C. So I'm playing a G triad over a C, which kind of gives me like a major 9 sound without the third, because I've got the major 7th note there, and I've got the 9th, and of course I've got the 5th. And then for some melodic movement, just go from the 7th to the root. And then for this D, it's like a D add 4, because these two notes would be from the D triad, but then I'm adding in the 4th, which gives you a really interesting sound. So we have G add 9, E minor 7, C major 9, no third, so I'm taking to the root, and then this D add 4. And the picking pattern was something like this. Alright, there you go. Some really interesting ways in which you can spice up these triads. So go ahead and give this a shot in your playing. The most important part is pay close attention for where the roots are. So when you want to play this shape, the G add 9, my root is actually there. So if I wanted to play a D add 9, I'll do it over here. If I want to do an E add 9, I'll do it there. So you can see these shapes are movable. So that's G add 9. Then for the E minor 7, I simply played the relative major triad, which gave me E minor 7th, which means you can do it anywhere in the guitar neck. When you play the relative major over the minor, you're going to get a minor 7. Then I played the same over the C to give me the C major 9 without a third. And then I go into the root, and then for this one, there's my root for the D. So if you wanted to play a D add 4, you'll do it there. If you want to do an A add 4, you'll do it here, because that's your A. If you want to do an E add 4, you'll do it there. Alright, so that is the gist of the part. If you haven't seen the previous video, make sure you go and check that one out. We've broken down the embellished versions of the 1645 over the verse section, and then today we did the build and the chorus section. If you enjoy this and you kind of want to figure out where these voicings come from, and now you can experiment with them, make sure you check out our upcoming video. We will go ahead and break that down. So if you're not already subscribed, now's the time to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get a notification whenever we release that new video. And if you happen to watch this somewhere in the future, by the time we've already published that video, the link will be in the description. Now, talking about the description, there's a bunch of other links that you can follow for some additional resources, some free, some paid, but they're all carefully designed to help you improve your worship guitar skills. So go ahead, check that out. And if you enjoyed the lesson, please leave us a comment. We always love hearing back from our subscribers. All right, guys, have a great one, and I'll see you in the next video.